example of both enormous digital conquest and the risks that come with it. He's Andrew Tate.
I'm from a council estate in Luton and now a billionaire. And it's because I actually tried my best. If I carry on the trajectory I'm carrying on, they're going to put me in jail because I'm too influential. I'm too dangerous.
Is that guy unapologetically troll-like, ostentatious displays of wealth and arrogance?
I don't wear a big diamond Patek, $500,000 to tell the time. I tell the time on my phone. I do it because I'm loaded. Now I have no respect for money. Money for me is a tool, and I use it to get whatever I want and bend the world. I can never be poor. You could take all of my money today. I'll be a millionaire again in 2 weeks.
And then the other day, virtually every tech company on the planet banned him.
I'm the first person who's been canceled where it's absolutely monumentally failed. Not a single female's come out and said, I had a negative interaction with Andrew, he was a mean person.
Andrew is empowering men to take personal responsibility. He actually teaches them how to leave the system, how to leave the matrix.
If you ask a woman the kind of man she wants, she will never say depressed or sad, ever. She wants a man who is ultra capable, ultra competent. You guys are all successful enough. You can sit there and say, look, I do X, Y, Z, I have X, Y, Z. There's people out there with money like you couldn't fathom. There is so much money in the world.
There's no limit to how much money you can earn.
If you want to stay a loser, stay one. Good, it's fine. Stay a loser. I have no sympathy for you. I don't care. I believe there's only 3 reasons people know.
Here he is. Take your seat, Dad.
The real top G.
Already?
What are we doing now? We're doing something.
We're starting the podcast. So, biggest podcast ever. And this came out of the blue yesterday, didn't
Literally yesterday.
And we were thinking it's going to be a couple of months at least until we interviewed the man himself.
How are you feeling about sitting so close to the Tate Meister himself? Is that a thing people say, Tate Meister?
I am dangerously close. If you asked me 2 years ago, would I be on a podcast with Andrew Tate? No.
But yesterday, when you told your mates that you're doing this podcast, what did they say?
Yeah, they can't believe it. All right, cool. I'm going to go get him.
And if you don't know who he is, then he's probably the most famous person you don't know.
To be fair, yeah, a few of the people that you told didn't know who it was.
Well, how about the hairdressers yesterday? You said, guess what? Tomorrow, we're going to be interviewing Andrew Tate. And he goes, oh, that sounds good. Do you watch the football?
He wasn't bothered at all,
He wasn't bothered.
I just thought I'd give up. He doesn't understand what a big deal this is. Is he here? He's coming up. The pressure is on.
Is it okay, that coffee?
Perfect.
Okay.
Is it really perfect though?
It's amazing. I appreciate it.
Wait, the instant coffee.
It is a very good instant coffee.
I'm happy with instant coffee. I'm not a coffee snob.
Do you know what? So am I. Sometimes you can have a coffee from a Starbucks and you go, really? That's not that good.
100%.
And yet, if you have your favourite instant, you always know just how it's going to be, don't you?
Completely agree. I'm not a coffee snob. Caffeine tastes like coffee. It's hot. It's kind of crazy. People sit and they go, oh, this tastes nothing like coffee. Of course it does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, it tastes pretty close to coffee. So I'm happy with it.
So Andrew, you're arguably the most famous guy on the planet. At one point, you were Googled more than Biden and Putin, which is crazy. Yeah. Do you feel you've lost a bit of your freedom now, having to think about where and when you go somewhere and always going around with security guards?
I've certainly lost a lot of my freedom, yes. Everything becomes far more labored. If I go to the mall, you don't just go to the mall. You have to organize the day that you go to the mall, and you have to tell your security team, and they have to plan where the car is going to go and drop off, and they have to be there in advance, and decide with you which team. So yeah, you certainly lose a lot of freedom. I'm not complaining, it just takes a lot of organization.
How about when you're on your yacht and people are trying to get onto that?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Yeah, that was pretty crazy, but it's good. My captain's good. We can run away if we want to, but
You've got enough power in that yacht then, yeah?
Yeah, and we move around a lot, so it's kind of hard to catch us. But yeah, I'm not complaining in any way. It's part of the territory, right? You just have to be very organized with it. It depends where you go. In the Western world, there's a genuine security concern, which makes it a completely different scenario. In London, if crowds come around me, I feel super uncomfortable. Whereas in Dubai or Romania, where I reside,
Okay, well, I first come across you, Andrew. You were dissing Teslas, and I came back at you a little bit on a TikTok, and I got about 20 million views.
Who buys a Tesla?
The richest man in the world, Elon Musk.
No man alive in a Tesla. I couldn't keep the living out.
Listen, I don't have time to fight. Have your guys message my guys and we'll have a chat on my podcast.
What are your views on Teslas now?
You called Andrew out, didn't you?
I did call you out a little bit.
I remember. And I love Elon, because Elon's let me back on Twitter, so I have nothing bad to say about Tesla or Elon anymore. I am just not a fan of electric cars as a whole, because I think that we are being forced into the age of electric cars. So this is the last great age of the combustion engine. So I think that you should have a combustion engine car for as long as you can. Soon you won't have that choice, right? So why wouldn't you have a combustion engine while you can? In 10, 20 years, we're not going to have that option. So, but then saying that, I bought a Rimac Navara the other day, which is a very fast one. So kind of moved over. I've got a few hybrids. I'm getting there. It's kind of hard to avoid now. Yeah. But I think that combustion engines are all coming to an end, aren't they? So.
Well, they are, but you'll always be able to buy one, won't you? Because you'll always be able to buy a vintage sports car or something like that. I want vintage. I want brand new. I want the newest tech. I want the new ones. And the new ones are going to stop selling. They're going to stop making. And that upsets me, because I don't even think that the world's going to function correctly with this electric car garbage once everybody has one. How's everybody going to charge their electric car? Actually think about it for a second. It's fine when the odd person has an electric car, fine, but you're on the motorway and thousands of people need to charge their electric cars at 6 hours a time. How is this going to even work out?
The infrastructure isn't there.
The infrastructure
Well, I mean,
there.
you don't need 6 hours. Like when I'm charging my Tesla, it takes probably about 30 minutes. But
30 whole minutes.
30 minutes.
I can put dead dinosaurs inside of my Ferrari in 30 seconds and I'm done and I'm out.
That's very true. But do you take a break on a long road trip? Do you often go for a coffee or something? Because I quite like it, you know, just go and chill for a little bit and then the car's charged.
He pretends that he likes it.
Yeah, exactly.
I do like it.
Well,
Andrew's being chauffeur driven, so he's relaxing
you don't
already.
need to worry.
What was it, a Maybach today?
yeah, something like that. But but I drive around Europe. I do very long road trips, and it's fine for one person to take a break. But if you actually analyze the infrastructure of thousands of people trying to take a half an hour, 45-minute break, it changes everything. Also, the conspiracy theorist in me doesn't believe they're trying to push us towards electric cars because they care about the environment. I believe they're trying to push us towards electric cars for control, because you can easily monitor an electric car. You can see where it goes. You can turn it off.
Yeah, imagine lockdown and COVID with everyone having electric cars.
Turn the cars off.
Yeah.
Turn everyone's cars off.
It's a horrible thought.
No, but that's what they're doing it for. Like, why else would you think they give a shit about the environment? It's kind of amazing to me anyone buys any of this crap. They sit here and they talk about global warming, and then there's obviously the hypocrisy of flying around on jets, etc. But that's not even the true thing that shows you they're lying. The thing that shows you they're lying is the second they manage to launder enough money from the people and steal hundreds of millions of dollars, they go and buy beachfront property. All of them are sitting on beachfront houses. I thought they were scared of the rising sea levels.
Exactly that.
Now they don't give a shit because it's them. Oh no, let's buy a house right here, right next to the ocean. So they don't care about the environment. None of them do. And anything they do, there's Trojan horses in life. They're going to come along with something like green environmentalism. They're going to Trojan horse it with control, which is what every government ever wants. If you oppose it, you look like a psychopath, because who doesn't love the nature and who doesn't love the world, right? But truthfully, if you look at all the agendas inside of it, it's about more control. And that's the garbage that goes along with it. And like you said, lockdown, it would have been very easy. I'll give you another example. Imagine there's a protest. Imagine people finally have enough and they get fed up and there's a protest and you start trying to drive towards the protest to join in to exercise your democratic right. You have to turn your car off. Now what are you going to do? Walk? And this is where all of this comes to. You have to understand that every single agenda that is being pushed in the world today, all of them come with the Trojan horse of control. And I don't want to be controlled on that level. I want my car to work. I want to start it and it move.
And make noise. Lots of noise.
And noise, yeah. But I want... An electric car just doesn't feel like it's mine.
I think there's definitely going to be a case that they're going to give speed limits, and that will be controlled for electric cars without a doubt. And at the moment, of course, none of us break the speed limit, but if we wanted to, of course we can as an individual do that. Yep. So I think certainly limits will come on like that, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's the never-ending argument, right, of safety versus freedom, because when you talk about making somebody safe, the only way you can do that is to remove their freedom. So this is what they do. They say, humans crash cars, humans can't be trusted, we're going to put this limit in place for your safety. And they're right, it is more safe, but then your freedom is eroded, and then you have to trust the people who are taking your freedom away to never abuse their power. And anybody who's read a history book and understands human nature knows that power is always going to be abused. So it's unfortunate, kind of, you know, it's hard on both sides. If you oppose it, they're like, well, don't you care about people dying in car crashes? And then if you say the other way around, it goes the other way around. So it's interesting, but the world is becoming draconian. I like to think we're fighting back, especially with the big tech censorship. That stuff's starting to go in our favor a little bit.
That's what I was going to say. Actually, big tech censored you, and if you could undo that censorship, would you?
I think they failed. How am I censored? I'm the first person who's been canceled where it's absolutely monumentally failed. And I think there's a bunch of pressure behind the dam. I think a lot of people are pissed off at these people. But what holds people back from really speaking their mind is everyone's afraid of the cancellation. once somebody like me proves cancellation doesn't work, and we put a crack in the dam, I think it's going to break. I think a lot of people are going to sit there and go, you know what, Tate got canceled, he's fine. So I'll say what I mean now, and I'll say what I mean now. They can't ban everybody, right? They can't ban everyone.
Do you feel that it's impacted you in people reaching out to you, though, with not having a direct link to yourself?
I mean, we had you on Instagram before, and we're like, oh no, he's gone now. We can't get in touch with you.
Yeah, I'm a little bit harder to reach, but I'm not complaining about that, to be honest. There's more work involved, perhaps, in getting my message out sometimes. But I'm now on Rumble, which have been fantastic to me, which is a YouTube competitor, and I have to give them a shout out because they've been completely fantastic. And it is amazing how quickly you adapt to the idea of being able to speak absolutely uncensored. Because even if you don't think you're censoring yourself on a platform like YouTube, you are. You may not think you are, but you're still sitting going, let me say it this way. If I'm going to mention this, the flu we all had to hide from, let me say it this way. That once you get used to just saying whatever you want, it's pretty refreshing. So Rumble's been absolutely amazing to me, and I think a lot of people are moving over there and making up backup channels on there. But yeah, and then Elon came and unbanned me and bought Twitter, so we're starting to win a little bit, which I think is good, because I think that without truth and without free speech, we were always going to head to absolute tyranny.
Does Rumble give you access to your own data? Because I think that's a big thing, like owning your own email list even, and YouTube, you can't do that. All the other platforms you can't.
Yeah, you can own your own subscribers.
You can?
Yeah,
okay,
so
that's awesome.
I would look into it heavily. The CEO, Chris, is really a hero for free speech. And then obviously Elon on the other side with Twitter. That's why I can't insult Tesla anymore. So I'm sorry. I shut up now.
How did it happen with Twitter? How did they actually get you back on? What was the process?
I just got an email saying log in.
Simple as that.
That was it, yeah.
Job done.
I was like, okay. So that was it. So
Today we made the really hard decision not to work with a sponsor on this podcast episode. And it was hard because sponsors support the show. They allow us to do what we love to do. But we had to say no because they wanted us to take out all the most important parts and censor this episode. And we just couldn't do that, could we?
We couldn't do that because it'd end up losing all the juicy bits, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And Tate's full of those. So instead, we thought we'd take this opportunity to talk about our free Discord community, which you can join with the link down in the description.
And there's nearly 15,000 like-minded entrepreneurs striking it big together.
All right, we're going to shut up now and get back to the podcast. But if you want to join that, we'd really love to see you in there. So the link will be in the description below. Anyway, back to the show.
Obviously, you've mentioned free speech there. Do you believe 100% in everything that you say and everything you put out there, or is some of it just to poke the bear and cause controversy?
I believe in every point I make. However, there are points I make in a deliberately aggressive fashion to upset people. Yeah, I do that. But I do still mean everything I say.
Do you think that bites back at you a little bit? A little bit too much sometimes, or?
Perhaps it can do, but I'm not afraid of I'll state right here, I've had a lot of people say, what's it like to be canceled? And the whole world hated you and everyone was out to get you, and there was all these people trying to contact your family and dox their addresses, and I didn't give a fuck. I don't care. Maybe I'm supposed to care, but I've had real problems in my life. I'm not some YouTuber. I've done real things with real difficulty and real issues. People writing hate comments about me, some dork with an anon account, I couldn't possibly care less. It doesn't bother me. So because it doesn't bother me, I guess that influences how I talk, right? But I want to get my point across as compendiously and poignantly as possible, and I think that the aggression being involved in some of the things I'm saying is necessary for people to truly understand them. I think that's the reality of the world, so I'm going to say it exactly how I feel it, and that's how I feel it. And if people want to cry about it, they can cry in the comments section. I don't read the comments. I don't have an account, so I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm banned.
Do you think if the majority of people actually hated you and disliked you, you would actually be a bit more worried for your safety?
Well, that's the thing. Very few people actually hate me. Since this whole cancellation and I've been walking around, etc., I have yet to have a single negative interaction with anybody. Male, female, adult, child, everyone loves me. The people want me to take pictures with their kids, and the women come up and they say, we love everything you say about traditionally masculine men, and I've never even had the women hate me, considering I'm this evil misogynist. Everybody likes me. But obviously there's a contingent of people who are strange in the world. But I speak my truth because I believe it's my job as a man to speak my truth. I don't do it to be liked. I speak it because I believe it, and I'm always going to do that. And if public sentiment shifted and everyone decided to hate me, I would continue to say exactly what I'm saying because it's what I believe. I'm speaking for a large group of people who feel the same way I do. I haven't put a magic spell in the world. There's a large group of people who agree with what I say, and it hasn't been said before, and I'm out here saying it. So they're going to be fervent fans. And also I feel like a lot of the people who are fans of mine and genuinely listen to my advice, their lives improve. And that's where you have this passionate response, because if you've become a Tate fan and in the last 2 years you start to really study stoicism and really go to the gym and get in good shape and get your finances right, etc., your life in real time has improved. So you're like, you're saying Tate's bad, he's made my life good, so I like it. So they're very passionate in their defense of me, which is fantastic. And then you obviously have the other side, the slave minds who obey anything they're told by the MSM, who've been told that I'm somehow evil. So they're passionate about disliking me. And it's interesting because the mainstream media still seems to have this power to convince these slave-minded people to believe that someone's evil with basically no evidence. It's truly incredible.
Speaking about that, I even screenshotted it when I was doing some research for this. I found an article.
You guys not have coffee? You guys need coffee?
To be honest, I need a Red Bull at some point.
You need like 20 coffees a day.
The first thing that came up when I Googled you is inside the violent, misogynistic world of TikTok's new star.
The violent, misogynistic world. You know what's crazy about
That's the first thing that came up.
How many things can they throw at you, you know?
Yeah, this is the Guardian.
It was the Guardian,
I'd love to walk into the Guardian HQ and see all these nerds sitting, these fucking dorks, sitting there on their little computers typing away. What's amazing to me is this. Nobody seems to want to point out the fact that I am now, like you just stated, the most Googled, most famous person on the planet. Not a single female has come out and accused me of rape. Not a single female has come out and accused me of domestic violence. Not a single female has come out and said I had a negative interaction with Andrew. He was a mean person. In fact, if you were to put me up in terms of performance metrics against other people of my fame, I'm the least misogynistic man on the planet. And these fucking clowns sit here writing shit, pretending I'm somehow evil because they're slave-minded.